Oh, they may be playing football, and the crowd is yelling, kill the referee. But no matter what the score, when the clock strikes 4, everything stops for tea.
Hi, and welcome to Spill the Tea, the show for British expats and everybody that loves all things British. My name's Ian.
And my name is Sam. Good morning, everybody. On today's show, we've got some information we're going to impart with you, and also some fun stuff that's going to happen, because we've got Darren Hayman here, our immigration man, the immigration guy. And we've also got Murray Sawchuk, celebrity magician. What happened to my music? Celebrity magician who is going to give us a big update about entertainment and himself in Vegas.
You were faded out prematurely.
I was.
You were.
Don't make me fade out.
Sorry on that. That was me.
And of course, the fabulous Travis.
Hold on, I got a lower third now. Hold on, give me a second.
You do?
There you go.
Look at you building your part.
Nevada, USA, represent.
Now,
Nice.
Travis tried a double-decker this morning. What did you think?
This is the double-decker as in the chocolate.
Yes.
Definitely the chocolate, not anything else. It was delicious. I thought it had like 1,000 calories, but no, UK people do calories weird.
Yeah,
So.
and we've got one of our Brit Kits on standby.
Yes.
Just
what
in
we got in
case.
there today? Oh, is this the sweetie one?
This is the sweetie one.
The sweetie one.
But I did stash the Mr. Kiplings in here as well.
Oh,
so
did you?
Just in case. And as always, it's going to be... Sorry, I forgot to put this back in. I was a little
Did
bit
you
rushed.
see Ian running in at 13 secones? It was exactly 13 seconds.
I was talking to Murray out there and then forgot where I was.
Just forgot where you was. That's what happens when you get older.
It does.
Not that I would know about any of that. What is going on with my hair? Let's have a look at that.
So we have Darren today, and I
Yes.
also know that he's brought food. I think there's a theme now with this show that everybody likes to just bring food.
Just eat.
Yeah, and then driving down here, I get a text from Alex, the pie guy. He's like,
Pie
"Do you want
guy."
some pies?" I'm like, "Of course I want."
What happened there?
It's Travis. He's playing with pies. See, every time we say pies, apparently that's what happens.
Do we have to take a drink of tea every time we say pies?
I think so.
So we've got
Exactly.
pie guy.
Well, I'm not banking on it because last week, he showed up a bit late and I was actually really hungry. So I've actually eaten a little bit of something this
I've
morning.
had a crunchy for breakfast.
Oh, well, that's good. and we got our tea. So we're all right.
Like
We're
you
set.
do. We're set. We're all set.
We're set. Who we got on this morning?
Yeah, let's have a little nobble. Who's online with
Guess
us
who's
today?
on first with the first comment?
Mick Burns.
Of course it is.
Yes.
And usually as second, Sharon as well. And Eve's on.
Hiya, Eve.
And Eve, oh, by the way, do we mention we've got a BFF today?
We do have a BFF
We do have a
today.
BFF. Eve's going to be exercising and we'll be eating chocolate.
Yeah, she'll be exercising for all of us
Yep.
today.
Mike in Greece. I always say Mike in Greece because I just always think it sounds so good.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, do you have your sister there with you at the moment? I saw something on Facebook. Looked like she was there this morning. Chris Plant's with us, and I think Chris has made an appearance on our page this week already.
He has. In fact, let's do it right now.
Let's do it now.
We announced our winners of the Halloween fancy dress contest, where we just had people post their pictures on one of our posts. And the first winner was Wendy Harrow. And it's Willy Wonka. The family was... Can you zoom in on Violet? I wish
no,
you
I
could.
can't.
That is so good.
Her face is so scary.
Isn't it? She's happy though.
That's a good
Violet's
one.
very happy.
That is a good one.
And they've won a package to Escapology. And the second winner was Chris and his little girls. Have a look here. Oh, cute
There they
are
are.
they? And you know what you've won, Chris? And I will get with you. You've won a set of notebooks. So I think what we'll do is we'll have your girls pick what they want.
Isn't this the second thing that Chris has won?
Yes, because he won Mary Wilson's book that he's going to give to his dad, though.
Oh, he is. All right, well, fine.
And the prize I'm going to give him, he's going to give to his girls.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Chris
yeah.
has still got nothing.
Well, that's the great thing
Poor
about
thing.
this show, because we have a grand audience of 3, that if we do have a competition, you've got a big chance of winning.
You have. Just enter everything. Enter it all.
And then Craig saying good morning.
It was Craig's birthday.
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday, Craig.
Happy birthday.
Sarah, you're a little bit late today. That's fine. No detention for you. You're good. My mum says have a great show. Kevin, it's good to see you. We actually haven't noticed you on the show for a little bit, so it's good to see you
Yeah,
back.
good to see you here. We've got Julianne. If you are brand new to the show, then tell us where you're originally from and where you live now. because we will eventually put you on the globe.
The Globe, which we need to update.
The big globe.
Mike says, I'm sure I saw Travis on the steps of the Clark County counting office on CNN on Sunday. Oh, praying to the doors. Well, all right. Well, yes, and it has been a week, but, you know.
That's another thing you can say. It has been a week.
It's definitely been a week.
And it's not done yet.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. we just can't do it. We can't do it.
It's the premise of our show.
We'll get a smack on the wrist for that, or a scotch around the head.
The Broadcasting Standards Agency will come right down on us and say, you said you don't talk about politics, so we're not going to. We're not.
Now, my grandma used to say, I'll give you a scotch on the head.
No.
What was said to you when you were being really naughty?
Put the gun down, step away. I don't know.
Oh my God. Why?
Why? Exactly. Why?
Yeah.
I'm about to give you a scotch across the head.
No, I can't remember. I was never naughty.
I knew you were going to say that, Ian, and that's such a lie. It's such a lie.
It is true.
So, yeah, it's just been a week.
But you know what? There is actually a question relative to Darren when he comes on that's sort of
ties
connected.
in. Yes, it does.
So it'll be sort of a question, but not a question. So that'll be a thing. And we also have Jody from Warrington now living in Columbus, Georgia. Well, welcome. I don't know if this is your first time, Jody, but welcome to the show if it is. And also to anybody else who's just joining us for the first time, make sure you like and follow our page. Or I think you can only do one thing these days. It's just one button, isn't it?
To what? Like?
Yeah. If you like, don't you automatically follow?
No.
You have to enable follow.
Oh, you do? Well,
Yeah.
make sure you enable your following.
Follow us as well.
I don't
follow
even
us,
know.
yeah,
I don't
that's
even
right.
know. But yeah, you're very welcome. And whether you're here in the United States or around the world.
Around the
as Sam says,
world.
we have lots of places.
We do. Now,
people tune in from.
Gina, she's from Butler in Pennsylvania. I used to live in Pittsburgh
Oh, well, look at that.
for a little while. And then, you know what I did one day? I woke up and I looked at Jim and I went, why are we here?
And you mean you looked away from the microphone and said it quietly?
I did. That was my acting. So I
Yeah.
said, why?
You were method acting. You
Why-
need to take the microphone.
Why
Can
are
you
we
do that?
here?
Why are you here?
We need to
That's
go
a very
somewhere
existential
else.
question.
Yeah, and we ended up moving to Nashville. That's where we went
Of all places.
with all the music scenes. So
Oh, yeah, that's
yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah, it's big.
That's
it's
good.
great.
That's very
and
good.
here's the interesting thing about Nashville. Everybody just thinks it's country music. Some of the best jazz in Nashville that you can find.
Oh, I bet.
And a level of player that is unbelievable. But yeah, I lived in Pittsburgh and then Nashville and then ended up here.
Very good. Hey, listen, I feel like we need to bounce this show along quickly today.
Oh. In other words, shut up.
No. Here's the thing, because I wouldn't usually get to this yet, but we've got two guests. We don't usually have two very separate guests.
We don't normally.
At some point, Alex is going to turn up with pies. We've got a BFF.
That's true.
We've got the whole bit. Oh, Amanda's just giving me a thumbs up. Apparently, Alex is here. We have pies, ladies and gentlemen.
We've got pies for breakfast.
Yes. Oh, and there's the pies. There's the pie logo.
Now, I do want to show you my necklace because you did point it out before
I
the
did.
show, and I don't know if we can get a close up of that, but it's
Zoomy zoom.
it's a corn. What do
It's
you call
what?
it? A corn. A corn on the. Well, it's not. It's corn. It's corn.
All right.
And this was given to me by an actual farmer in Iowa.
What's it now?
Yeah, John.
That's very pretty.
So, John, if you're watching, it's really
Yeah.
You know what? You can rock a corn if you've got confidence. A corn cob if you've got
They have ointments for that.
ointments.
Ointments.
Germaline.
Yeah.
Do you remember Germaline?
I don't know.
I think root beer tastes like Germaline.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my point. So I think
Yeah.
it's time for Check a Day.
Oh, yeah. Do it.
It's check a day. It's the check the days. What is good when we check the days? Ian, what's on the docket?
What's on the docket?
That's special. That was very special. I like
Jody,
that.
we're in Vegas, by the way. That's where we are.
Well, all right. So let's jump right in. It's area code day. Don't ask me why. Actually, I do know why. Apparently, in 1940, AT&T created the area codes concept. It's the day.
Sounds boring.
International Accounting Day, equally as
Boring.
It's National Forget-Me-Not Day. Now, National Forget-Me-Not Day is a day dedicated to reconnecting with old family and friends.
Oh, that's lovely.
And then we haven't seen Darren for a little bit, and
Yeah.
he'll be here in a second.
He's part of our family.
And of course, Murray. We both know Murray very well.
Yeah, we do.
And I haven't seen him. We were just saying, probably in the best part of the year? Because nobody's seen anybody in the
Last
best
time
part
I
of the year.
saw Murray was drag queen. What's his name? His show
When he was a
opened.
drag queen.
When Murray was a drag queen.
Yeah.
The show that was at
Frankie-
the Flamingo.
No.
No.
Oh, the drag race one?
Yes.
Oh.
That's the last time I saw Murray, I
All
think.
right, very good.
So that was early in the year.
All right, yeah. Well, again, everybody was earlier in the year and
Yeah,
you haven't
there's
seen
just a
them
big
since.
gap in the middle.
National Vanilla Cupcake Day, which we have many different types of food, but we do not have vanilla cupcakes. And it's also, well, there's actually 2 days. It's Sesame Street Day and it's USMC Day. In other words, United States Marine Corps Day. And there's a reason for that, because if I jump to my this day in history,
Yeah.
in 1969, Sesame Street premieres. So on this day in 1969, first
I never liked. I could never get on with Sesame Street.
you couldn't.
No.
Oh, it bothered you, did it?
It bothered me immensely. I'd rather have Sooty and Sweep.
Oh, there you go, of course. And in 1775, the U.S. Marine Corps was created. So that's why it's
An
Marine
important
Day.
day.
Exactly. And then I don't know if we've got anything else of great. Well, I did have the music thing.
Oh, that's funny. Dan Burke wrote, but Heidi High, and Chris underneath wrote, Hody Ho.
Like you do. So on this day, in 1975, David Bowie was at number 1 on the UK singles chart with Space Oddity. The track was first released in 1969 to tie in with the Apollo 11 moon landings. Rick Wakeman, former keyboard player with Yes, provided the synthesizer backing on
Didn't
that
know
song.
that.
I didn't know that. Bowie would later revisit his Major Tom character in his songs Ashes to Ashes,
Dust to
Hello
Dust.
Space Boy, and Black Star. So yeah,
Wonderful.
so that's I think there's nothing. Oh, and 1984 on this day, Frankie Goes to Hollywood set a new advanced orders record for their copies of their album, which was 1.1 million copies were pre-ordered. That would never happen now.
It wouldn't.
There's no such thing as a pre-order.
It wouldn't.
And they went to number 1 on the UK album chart with their debut album, Welcome to the Pleasure Dome.
Yeah, how music has changed, how you consume it now is very different. I mean, I used to love going here in town when we had Virgin at Caesars.
Yeah.
Oh, we would go once a month, and Jim and I would just buy a ton of stuff, listening on the headphones.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, I used to spend hours down in HMV.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
we've missed that experience.
And in 1984 on this day, number 1 in the UK charts was Chaka Khan
Shaka Khan.
with I Feel For You.
Thanks.
Because you can't say a name without saying it like
Thanks.
that, can you? So it was
It's
actually
a great
I
song,
Feel
though.
For You,
It'll never age. It'll
it
never
won't.
age.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I performed something to that song once.
Do you have it on video?
No, I have nothing on video.
You're such a fibber. I'm going to have to get together with Amanda.
Well, yeah. there
She
might
will
be.
have all the evidence.
She might.
We should do a show about our past. Just the
good Lord.
non-naughty stuff.
Did you want this show to keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that.
We shall do that.
All right, segue it up there, Missy.
Okay, so Darren Hayman is our immigration guy, and because there are some new things happening, particularly in England, well, in the United Kingdom, with restrictions and this, that, and the other, lots of people have lots of questions as to what's happening with their immigration status, who can travel, who can't, has everything stopped? So Darren's here to answer all those questions, and I know that Drew White wanted to ask some questions, but I haven't seen
We
him
did,
yet.
and we even had a jingle, didn't we, for Darren?
Oh, we got a jingle!
Travis?
It's Darren, the one, the only, the immigration lawyer.
There you go. You're like,
I did just throw that on you, didn't
I
I?
will take it.
yeah,
Brilliant.
he'll record that for your business.
Yeah, there
yeah,
you
and
go.
people will hang up, click.
Well, and really, we just wanted to have you back on the show because we missed you.
I've missed you guys.
you're
It's always
always
great
so
to be
happy.
here. Oh, yes.
And I love
The
that.
facade is wonderful. isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yes.
We've all got a shiny side, haven't we?
Yeah,
We have.
to.
Yeah.
And a darky
And a
side.
darky side, it's true.
But
And a
before
naughty
continuing-
side.
Today is actually 10 years from today that I went on the first date with my wife.
Is it?
It wasn't on Checker Day.
It wasn't on Check It
It
In.
needs to be.
It should be.
Submit it to the calendar.
The best day of my life.
Oh, where did you meet?
We were living in Kiev at the time, and the reason I remembered was because USMC Day, every year they have a Marine Corps ball at all of the embassies around the world, and that's where I met her.
That's where you met her?
Oh.
Oh, how funny!
Yeah.
You
That's so
probably
cool.
looked very shiny
I did
on
look
that.
shiny,
that,
shiny.
So
that
you
time.
you knew today was
USMC Day?
That's the one.
I did not.
You did?
But I was reminded when you said it.
So wait, so you also didn't know that this was the
I
anniversary
did not.
of missing your
But I
wife
just worked it out.
until we just
I
mentioned
hope your
it.
wife's not watching.
Oh, all right, honey, please turn off. Turn off.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. Well, I'm pleased that we've been able to do that and
Thank
that
you.
she's not watching so that you can take flowers home later on
That's a
and
brilliant
say,
idea.
it just occurred to me
It
today.
just occurred to me.
Fiona's on here. Fiona and
Fiona.
Walker Velate. She said, Darren is my brother-in-law's niece's immigration lawyer.
Dogs,
Oh,
friends,
excellent.
aunties, next door neighbours,
Kevin
immigration.
Bacon. 7 degrees of separation.
7 degrees, yeah.
Trying to figure it
Oh,
out.
well, look at that. You seem to be actually, by some connection or another, everybody's immigration lawyer.
Yes, I've noticed that. Everyone we
Yeah,
know.
I'm. Things are busy these days.
You're kind of like the Ferris Bueller of immigration lawyers. Everyone's like, oh, you know who you need to talk to.
It's a wonderful reputation to have.
It's
Well,
a-
it's only because
Oh,
I'm
you
on
haven't
the
heard
show.
what they've actually said.
Right,
I'm
no, of
wrong
course.
about that.
Well, no, I have. But,
Well, there you go. There
but
you
I'm going
go.
to keep the smile on anyway.
Well, thank you for being back with us.
Thank you for having me.
So I guess really, as Sam was saying, there's the whole new lockdown with the UK. There's the election and all the potential of which way, what way.
There was an
whichever it could go.
election?
Yes, apparently so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we just kind of wanted to get an update because I've seen various comments flying around the interweb where people have been saying, still asking the questions in the different British groups. Can I go to the UK? Can my parents come here? Can my friends come here? What is the latest situation as you know it? Breaking news, over to you, Darren.
Okay, so more my specialty is people coming here from the UK.
Right.
So we'll start with that. General rule of thumb, if you're not a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident, green card holder, you need to go and quarantine somewhere else for 14 days beforehand. And where most people are doing that is Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So you're allowed to come in from Mexico if you've been there for 14 days and not from the UK directly.
But you can quarantine here or you can't quarantine.
You cannot quarantine in the United States
Interesting.
Wait.
unless you're a U.S. citizen or a green card holder.
Okay.
They cannot stop you from entering the country.
But is that specifically relative to the UK because of the numbers in the UK?
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
UK and Europe. In,
Okay.
at least Western Europe.
So
So go and have a 2 weeks holiday in Mexico.
Go down to Cancun, enjoy yourself,
And
try
then-
not to get killed, and come back here after a couple of weeks. And
wow,
you can
that
come to the
seems,
States.
and I guess that could be. It could be anywhere. I mean, could they go to Canada?
Canada is actually, ironically, that border is a lot harder to come in on. But theoretically, you could do Canada as well for a couple of weeks beforehand.
Okay, all right,
But yeah, they're making that border a lot harder than the Mexican border to cross.
all right, very good.
I had no
Well,
idea.
there's more. You got less sort of stuff in the way.
Oh,
Moving on.
We won't go
Sorry.
there.
Rabbit hole.
There's more snow anyway.
gotcha.
Yeah. Sometimes
But
you just.
Americans going to the UK is similar. If you're a citizen or you have indefinite leave to remain, you can go to the UK.
What's an indefinite leave to remain?
So indefinite leave to remain is the equivalent of a green card.
So it is
for
a green
Brits.
card
For Brits.
for Brits.
Or for people who live in Britain. So indefinite leave to remain. So for instance, I had indefinite leave to remain, so I can go back to the UK, and I'd need to quarantine myself for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But just going on holiday right now is a no-go for the UK.
So, I'm currently a green card holder.
Yes.
So, would I be able to go and quarantine for 2 weeks?
You're a citizen. You're allowed to go back whenever you want to
I'm
the
not
UK.
a citizen.
To the UK.
Oh,
If you were in the UK trying to get here now, okay, then yes, you can come back in. They can't stop you from re-entering, and then you'd have to quarantine yourself for 2
Yeah.
weeks, depending on the state.
well, yeah.
Okay.
Did that just answer the question? I'm not sure if that did. So, as a green card holder, can I go to the UK? I'm being sorry. I apologise. I'm being
Okay,
dumb.
so if you're British, you can go to the UK whenever you want.
You can go
If you have a
back
British passport, you're allowed to.
Okay.
They cannot stop you from
If you're
repatriating.
an American citizen,
If you're an American
but
citizen,
you're a British American citizen who also then might also have a British passport.
You mean
you
a
can
dual citizen?
dual
yeah.
citizenship. You
Yeah.
can still go back to the UK.
Okay.
Because you're repatriating.
Okay.
Okay. If you're an American with indefinite leave to remain in the UK, then you can also go back to the UK. All right. That's the equivalent of having a green card in the US. Indefinite leave to remain
over
is
there.
for the UK.
I see.
Okay. If you're a Brit with a US passport or with a green card, you can come back to the US directly. If you're trying to come in on a non-immigrant visa, right, i.e. a tourist visa or a work visa, then chances are you're going to have to go down to Mexico for a couple of weeks beforehand.
This is
Gotcha.
why we have Darren on the show.
All right.
I never understand people asking questions in the group because I'm like, need to ask an expert.
Yeah.
It's really important.
Oh my gosh, I never thought I'd be an expert.
You are in our world.
That's awesome. Thank you.
So we got a question here from the only person who wins prizes on our show, Chris Plant. And he says, my green card expired during lockdown. Am I eligible for the first stimulus check? Because I'm skint and never claim anything that I win on Spill the Tea.
He has to give it away, everything he wins.
Oh, good Lord, Chris.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, well, first of all, there's a one, it's unknown, but even if your green card expires, you are still a permanent resident.
Right.
You can only lose your permanent residence one of three ways. Either you die, you sign it away, or a judge takes it away.
Okay.
Right? So even if your card expires, you're still a permanent resident. Now, the problem is being able to prove that you're a permanent resident. So if you want to get a stimulus check, you're going to need to prove that you're a permanent resident. And without a valid green card, that's going to be tough.
More difficult.
All right?
Okay.
Gotcha.
Now, there are solutions. You can either apply for citizenship, and then you can go to USCIS and request what's known as a 551 stamp in your passport, which evidences that you're still a permanent resident. Or you can file an I-90, which is for a new green card, which you can do whenever, even if it's been expired for years.
Yeah.
And again, you'll have to go to USCIS if you want a more short-term solution.
I see.
I saw that as a question, actually, about some people who had been green card holders and they'd gone back to the UK for, perhaps even a number of years, but then wanted to come back. Would they have to would they be ahead of the queue? I mean, they don't have to apply for a green card all over again, or can they breathe life back into it, even if it's lapsed?
Okay, so...
and that's not applicable to any of us here, but I'd seen that and I thought I'd ask.
But yes. All right, so that's a tad complicated, but there is a relatively easy answer. Again, you are still a permanent resident, all right? Even though you've let your green card expire, even though you've been out of the country for several years, what's going to happen is if you try to re-enter with your green card, chances are Customs and Border Patrol will do one of two things. First of all, they'll say, welcome back, come on in. All right? And everything is forgiven and you get to start all over again. Otherwise, they will say, we believe you have given up your permanent residence. You've abandoned your residence. And then at that point, you have to make a decision. They're going to put a piece of paper in front of you saying, here, sign this document saying that you've abandoned your residence. All right? That was one of the options. You do not have to sign that piece of paper.
Good to know.
And what you do is you simply say, no, I did not believe. I have abandoned my residence. I would like to go before an immigration judge.
Okay.
And then they should let you into the country and set a date for you to go before an immigration judge. And then you can make your arguments before the immigration judge.
Right.
All right. Or what happens more often is the Customs and Border Patrol agent simply says, you know what, just go ahead. All right, I'm not going to worry about this. The judges are so
That would be nice.
inundated. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it happens a lot more often than you think.
Do you have any questions there, Sam?
Well, Becky was in a group yesterday, and she was supposed to... Hang on, let me go back. Here's a question. She was supposed to move across the pond this year. Is there any idea of when the borders will reopen for us to come over without 2 weeks randomly somewhere else?
So crossing the
question.
pond here or going back to the UK?
Coming to the States. That's
Coming to the
correct, isn't it,
States.
Becky? I think it was coming to the States.
Yeah.
So again, the same issue arises as we currently have, right? There was an executive order that was signed months ago that require you to be outside of a country that is having high levels of COVID, and you need to be out of that country for 2 weeks. Will things change? Because I just recently found there was an election and things might change. That could happen very
didn't hear
quickly.
about that.
It's shocking. All I know is that COVID has magically disappeared, but we're not going to go there. Haven't heard anything about that recently. But no, come March, that could very well change overnight, literally.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, in February. Or even January. But between now and then, you'll still
Be the
probably have
same.
to
Kind of
do.
remain
Do you
the
feel
same.
that, though, like that's probably going to happen? after
I mean,
after there's finality one way or another,
well,
that it will just it'll all
it'll
magically kind of go away.
Go back to normal.
Yeah.
Depends. I mean, from what I understand, if we're going to be having a nationwide mask mandate, then that wouldn't lead itself to allowing people into the country immediately.
I feel like I'm never going to get back home to see my family. Twice we've had to cancel.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I love my family. You'd love them too.
I'm sure I
You'd
would.
love my twin sister.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. I met your sister.
You met Cherie, my oldest sister, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it just seems like it's so, you just don't know what's going to happen. Not necessarily always from this end, but also back home as well, because they've just gotten down on this other lockdown situation.
Until December 3rd.
Yeah. So,
Tough, isn't it?
Catherine's here. She says, going to the UK, what about a UK citizen with a US spouse?
So that is what I would do as far as the U.S. spouse is concerned, and it sort of works both ways. I would have the U.S. spouse contact the British Embassy here and get permission to come over.
Okay.
And they should allow it. Same as if you are a U.S. citizen and you're back in the UK and you have a British spouse and you want them to come over and they don't have a green card, you can always contact the U.S. Embassy directly and get permission to enter the country directly.
All
Okay.
right. Good.
So it's about getting permission.
Let's got
Getting
some really
permission.
good questions here today, and everyone's
yeah,
getting
they're
involved.
excellent.
So keep them coming. We've got to make the most of him while he's here.
And people can get hold of you for a complimentary consultation,
Of course.
can't they?
I'm happy to help as best I can.
He's very complimentary.
He's very
He's like, oh, your
complimentary.
shirt looks
Lovely.
fantastic.
And I love the corn.
The corn
Love the
necklace.
corn.
Now, how do people get hold of you? Tell everyone how to get hold
Got a
of you.
couple ways. Greencardadvice.com with a C. Have a new website, 2021us.com. And you can just call me at any time, 702-421-VISA. V-I-S-A.
You're
We'll make sure you put that in
You're
the
very
comments.
good on selecting the right
tried to.
domain names.
He is, isn't
and
he?
everything.
Craig's got a question. Any news when the US immigration in London will open so interviews can continue? I have 2 staff members waiting to come across.
Oh, Craig, I wish I had better news for you. Especially now with the lockdown, things have pretty much come to a standstill. And even if they do have their interviews and they are given the visas, depending on the visa type, they might still need to go down to Mexico first for the 2 weeks because they won't be able to directly come over. It's still very gray right now. Nothing is clear, unfortunately. I wish I could give you better news, mate.
But definitely from, and I know it seems such a bizarre thing to have to go to Mexico and do it that way.
know.
But that is for sure. It's not one of those, I'll give it a go. You might be all right.
So it's always up to the Customs and Border Patrol
this is
agent,
true.
right? So even if you have a visa, it's always up to them.
Yeah.
But yes, based on everyone with whom I've spoken with, you do 2 weeks in Mexico and you can come in without an issue. Right now.
Right now.
Right? That could change tomorrow.
Now, you're on Facebook as far as like your business, correct?
I am.
Yeah, I think people should follow your page.
That's very kind. I would love for them to follow
Yeah,
my
because
page.
I'm sure you're putting out a lot of information. It changes so much,
It
though.
changes daily,
It
unfortunately.
really does. It really
Throughout
does.
this entire year, it's been very strange, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Have you got another question?
Do I have another question?
I miss my family
yes.
too, Fiona. A great deal.
I think we've actually kind of got to a lot of those ones. But if you actually have any other questions for Darren, Darren's going to be sticking around with us because
Yeah.
he knows that the pies have showed up. So
He's not stupid.
he's going to be staying around for food. But if you think of something between now and the end of the show, let us know. And providing that we scrolly and actually notice it, because
Scrolly.
we're a bit busy at the same time and trying to do things here, then we'll make sure that we get that answered for you. But in the meantime,
Yes, sir.
thank you very much.
I'm gone then. All right.
No, you
Always
haven't.
a pleasure,
Hey,
guys.
and-
I love being here.
And mine's actually in process right now.
I've heard.
I know.
Yes. Guess who the immigration lawyer is?
Who'd you hire?
Yeah. What?
Surprise!
This could be an awkward moment if it wasn't him, wouldn't it?
Mixed
Stella
up
Black right here.
There you go.
Love it.
So, and it's been what, a couple of months now. So it's
been a few months,
It's
yeah.
4 months to wait.
I can't talk about your case unless you give me permission on there.
Generally speaking, what are people having to wait for?
So, okay. I would say it's going to be about a year process now. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to vote for this election. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, well,
we had the election.
Wait, from beginning to end?
From beginning to end, it should
that
be
was
about
like,
a year.
I thought you said it was 6 months.
It
Like
was
3
6
months.
months, and
But they
then
realise how naughty you are.
up to
They
the
could do-
election.
they
all
could do a
right?
lot
So they
more
were trying to
research.
get as many people coming in for citizenship as possible before the election.
Okay.
And so they sort of put everything else on hold, trying to
Right.
make as many citizens as possible. Now the election is done. They're reverting back to the other sort of interviews they need to have.
I
Wow.
see.
And so
All right. Well,
I'm
I
telling
won't
people about
keep
it, yeah.
checking my
Yeah.
online account
Oh,
weekly.
yes.
then.
Relax for a
don't-
week, for a year.
I'll let you know the second I get
Why,
news.
thank you, sir.
We'll
I
have a
appreciate
party.
that.
That's what we do.
We'll have a party.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a little ways off, apparently.
Yeah, we've got plenty. We can
I had
plan
no
it.
idea it was that.
We're going to have to
that
do spill the coffee.
long. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's all about the tea.
Spill the gin.
All right. Well, thank you, Darren. We appreciate you
Always
It's
a
coming
been
along.
pleasure.
lovely.
It's
And Darren
always-
says I can go work out of his office because I get sick and tired of working from home.
Whenever you want.
And then we're going to go have lunch together.
You could come and work here.
I could as well, couldn't I?
We'll
just
compete
bop
for you.
I'll just, I'll just bop around.
Yeah.
Where do you have lunch around here?
It gets
I
brought
win.
to us.
Again, yeah, we pie and,
We have
pie
pie.
and
Oh, I'm
gonna
sausage
come
roll
here and
shows
work
up.
then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
So,
exactly.
with that, I think it's probably time to think about the calories that we should be losing before eating all the pies. So it's time for Eve Dawes' BFF today, which she's exercising, and we'll get the pies in while she's doing that.
So I know I'm sat on the couch, but we're going to do something active again this week because I know you're all back in lockdown if you're living in England and the gyms are closed. So I thought I'd do a quick cardio workout you can do at home, no equipment needed, throw on whatever music you want. You can either do the 2.5 minute version or do it as many times as you like. And if you don't want to work out, now's a great time to take a bathroom break. So here we go. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can do some cardio anywhere, any place. It's really quick interval training. You can do as many rounds as you like, depending how much exercise you want to do. So let's do this.
Nothing bad for breakfast. Like, what's going on? oh! Are you having a sneaky bite of the
No.
Aussie project pie?
No, I was exercising.
Thank you, Eve, for that. Gosh, she's got energy, that girl, I tell you.
She does. She does. And so does Alex, the pie guy.
Yay!
G'day guys, how you doing this morning?
we like him. Oh, hello.
I'm so,
He's strong.
I'm so
I know who
sorry.
you remind me of.
Oh yeah?
Jason Momoa.
I mean, it would be really cool if I was him. But
Next time you come in, I want that hair down.
Okay, no
And
worries. I'll try to keep it
Aquaman.
up to keep
And
it
you
out
need
of
to
the
come
pie.
with a, what do they call that?
you know what's funny? In another job of mine, I actually have that costume. So
No.
yeah.
Will you come in that costume with your pies?
You know what? Next week I might just do that. So these ones are all chicken pies. I bought 3 chicken pies and 2 beef. Unfortunately.
Amazing.
So there we go.
Tell everyone how they can get pies from you.
Oh yeah. So if you guys want to order some pies, you just go to our social media platform on Instagram. It's the Aussie Project. There it is up on the screen. Thanks, guys.
There you go. Cool.
So yeah, and then we'll contact you there. We've got all sorts of different products. So if you guys want to just jump on there, give us a like, give us a follow, and then yeah.
Proper pastry. Amazing.
It is proper.
It's amazing. Now you've got other deliveries to make today.
I actually do have other deliveries, so I'm gonna have to split if that's all right.
Yeah. Hey, you're leaving the pies.
I'm leaving the food.
Are you still doing free delivery?
I'm still doing free delivery. So if you guys order, I deliver free all over Vegas. So just hit us up and we'll talk to you.
And you do sausage rolls.
We do sausage rolls. These are the chicken pies, and I've got the beef pies there as well. So
amazing.
Yeah.
And Fiona's asking whether you ship to New York.
Shipped in. I mean, we are actually working on that. So leave it with us. So I'm actually working on how to overnight or get there in a couple of days. So
cool.
Yeah, a couple of months hopefully.
Well, thank you, my friend.
All right, mate. No worries.
You're the best.
Are these okay to freeze?
Yes. Yeah. So you can freeze the pies and then chuck them in the oven for 45 minutes at 350 and they're good to go.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
Very good.
Thank you.
Right, guys,
we
no
so
worries.
appreciate it. Don't forget the Aquaman outfit. Look.
Here we go. You can scoot around this way. There's
No worries.
less activity.
Thanks
there.
so much. Mwah.
Thank you so much.
Take care, mate.
Lovely.
Thank you. This is the best.
I'm telling you.
Our show's got so much more fun.
It has.
Only because it's food.
Food always makes it better.
I know it's a little. You guys might be a little jealous, but still, you can live vicariously through us. So, all right. So with that, our next guest. So what can I say about our next guest? He's actually a good friend of both Sam and I. And he's a Las Vegas headliner. Not only is he appearing in his own show, or will be back in his own show coming up on November 24th, 22nd, something like that. 27th.
Oh.
But he's also featuring in the Luxor right now as a guest spot in Fantasy.
Yeah,
so
it's a very sexy show.
it's one of those shows.
That's why Murray's in the show.
Yeah,
Murray's
he's a YouTube star. He's been watched over 1 billion times online. He's got 1.7 million followers. He's a regular on Pawn Stars as a professional, the man in the know, an magical expert. He's been everywhere. He's done everything, and only some of it he can actually tell you about. So our guest today is the one, the only, Mr. Murray Sorcha.
How are you?
Yay!
How are you guys? What an intro.
So the first thing I said to Murray when I saw him, I said, give me that jacket, give me those trousers.
I know, right?
And that T-shirt is from our charity.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course. I
have to thank you for that because he wears our T-shirts on a lot of stuff on TV.
All the time, yeah.
TMZ, you wore it on TMZ.
I did. I purposely did that. I'm well aware when I wear these shirts. I have 9 of them, thanks to you.
I know. We hook you up, don't we, Murray?
Yeah.
And not only that,
good.
you are also a Commonwealther.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Vancouver, Canada, yeah. Sure. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
We have the same
Of course.
We're
Yes,
the
we do.
same.
That's
It's
how
on our
you
money
qualify.
still, so it counts.
She's still there.
That's
Yes.
how you qualify for
And she's
being
still
on the
alive,
show.
which is unbelievable.
Well, I know.
Amazing.
And she looks amazing.
She does.
I don't know what they're doing with her, but it's unbelievable.
I don't know what they're
honest to
doing
God,
with
it's like the new RoboCop, but she's gonna last for another 200 years. It's we just don't know that. Yet, you know what I mean? It's unreal.
We can only wish to be like her at her age.
Yeah.
So
for
where
real.
do we start, Murray?
The outfit.
the
I think the
I know.
outfit's amazing.
That's kind of like a...
It's all from Instagram and Amazon. I'm a sucker for those Instagram ads because the size fits me. I think they're all from China, and it just works. Because anytime I shot when I was in China and Korea, I'd buy a large, and it would fit one arm. And I'm like, that's just...
Oh,
so
yeah,
they finally
yeah.
figured out the
XXL.
American Chinese version
Oh,
of
they've
it.
done... Oh, okay,
So
good.
they got the length right. The waist is always 31, but the pants are 24 long, and it just doesn't fit me. It's like a
They're
capri.
like capris.
So now I realize whatever IG's selling to me now, they figured out my size, and it's a large from China, which is usually a medium here.
I love it.
Everything fits. And my fiance now, Danny, says, everything you order on IG or Amazon it just fits you. It's unbelievable.
It's fantastic. You do look great, though, I have to say.
So now you have to be one of the... there's not many shows that have gone back quite yet. They are starting to reopen here in Las Vegas. But again, not only one show that you have to be in or you want to be in, you get to be in 2 shows. I mean,
yeah, what are
that's
the
just
chances,
greedy.
though? Talk about pissing people off, huh? Right. No, really. I mean, seriously. Because I know all my friends who are watching my stuff who are entertainers, I'm going, you've got to be kidding me. 1 show, and these were actually 2. And, and then, of course, during COVID, I really haven't stopped. But that's me, though.
With your, with your online stuff.
That's
online
very
stuff.
you.
And then we started a landscaping company 2 or 3 months ago, me
Yes!
and Danny.
Wait, what?
And,
I did not know about this.
Oh,
Yeah.
The
Dirt to Dreams.
the show, yes.
Yeah, well, I originally had a pilot 5 years ago, Dirt to Dreams, that I made for HGTV and all that, because I like doing landscaping.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to my house? Everything I've done myself.
Yeah,
a little
yes.
golf course and a pond and fireplaces.
Actually, I have. You might not remember.
No, did you wear a wig
But
then when you
I
were over?
have.
You dressed up again, didn't you? I knew that. I don't recognize you out of makeup.
That's right.
So I thought, well, and the landscaping companies are outside; they're safe. You can't catch a heck of a lot, right? And my buddies who all had their companies, they'd never been more successful this year. And I thought, why don't I got time? I got a truck, I have the equipment, and so Danny and I started the company called Dirt Dreams, and so that's our little branch, another branch to
So
part
you know,
of mine.
Fantastic.
you've got a very unique look. So people tend to sort of know if they've seen you online or on TV or whatever it might be, and numerous TV shows. So if you are showing up to a customer's door, I mean, and then they open the door for their landscaper and it's you.
Right.
Usually it's after the fact because I go for our company. I go by my middle name, and Danny goes by her middle name
What is
under
your
our
middle name?
company, John.
I know that.
Yeah, so it's just and hers is Elizabeth. So she goes by Liz. So it's John and Liz. And usually when I show up, I'm wearing a hat, jeans, and a jacket. There's nobody unless it's referred from somebody. And then usually a week later, somebody will text me. Going, I had no idea that was you and your team. Because I'm actually there. I don't just show up in the morning and then show up at night to make sure it's done. I'm actually there because I'm that anal about making sure the job's done right. And I'm just not. Maybe in 10 years I can just let it go to somebody else I trust. But my worst thing is delegating. I just don't delegate well. That's my weakest thing in business. I have a hard time.
That's because you
letting
do it
other
all
people.
yourself, because you do it right.
Well, I like to think I do, but or at least give it a shot right. So yes, but I'm very lucky.
I don't have that problem. I'm quite happy for anybody else to do stuff instead of me.
Perfect.
Just generally speaking.
And I believe that.
I'm
He
sure
makes me do his makeup before the show.
He has makeup on.
Can
Yes,
even
he
do
does.
his own.
He looks great. Look at you. Look
What
at
do you mean?
Look at you.
There's no cracks being filled here.
I know. Look at you.
Oh, thank you.
Do I have crumbs on my lips?
Have you got? No, you haven't.
Good.
You haven't.
That's why I'm scared to eat it because I'm going to look.
I knew
That's
that was
why I
the
won't
case.
touch the
Right,
thing.
we eat all the time
I think
now.
you should try
We
that
don't
pie.
care.
No, I'm going to try it after.
No,
I
want
won't.
to
No,
try it.
I will never
I think
eat
you should
on
get
it.
crumbs in your ruffles,
No.
crumbs in your fur.
No, exactly.
We were like that in the beginning of the
I'll be
show. We're like,
covered.
I can't eat that. It's
Yeah.
going to be a
You
nightmare.
see-
Now we don't care.
Yeah, but
see,
then I'm
I-
going to choke and cough and it'll be all
Everybody
over the
says
place.
about the choking,
Yes,
don't they?
yeah, sure. It's the crumbs. You inhaled the wrong time. You eat a sugar cookie with that powdered sugar on it. You try talking. You inhaled the wrong time. You're down for the count at least 10 minutes.
You're going to have to take a bite of that on air.
No, I will.
You will.
I'll
At the
do a
end- at the
fake
end.
bite. Yeah,
At
I'll
the
do a
end,
fake
when it
bite.
doesn't
end.
matter.
It smells delicious.
And
It's great.
Yeah, it's either you or the pie. I don't know what smells better, but
it's me, actually. It's not even him.
So now, so what do you think? I mean, you happy that things are getting back to
I love it.
The
I
show's
love that I
going
got a
back?
reason to leave the house now.
Yeah.
After 8 months, I did the Zoom things, and then I got to be honest with you, I hate doing Zoom things. I mean, that's probably not good for my Zoom business, but I just don't like doing them.
It's not the same.
I'm in business for walking on stage live. That's my drug.
Yeah.
I love it. And the Zoom thing is lovely, but I have no interest in that. I like shooting TV. It's pre-tape, but the Zoom thing, you never look as good as you are live. That's
You
why I'm a live
don't.
performer. You know what I mean?
You don't get that same feeling
No,
from
you
that
don't.
live audience.
Yeah, and it's lovely. It's a way to make a living, and people who are doing it, who
Yeah.
are becoming successful at it. That's lovely. But I've been doing YouTube for 5 years. I've been doing that for
Yeah.
5 years,
yeah.
pre-taped. So it doesn't really appeal to me. But if somebody wants it, I will do it. If they're going to pay me, I'm not ever going to say no
and your
to money.
success on YouTube
You know?
has been incredible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we talked just before I started the YouTube
We-
ages ago. I
We
said,
did.
I said, this guy's got this idea. I think it's going to make me go viral. I'm too old for this thing. And I literally said that. And he said, well,
And that was 5 years ago, so think
That's
how
right.
old you are now.
oh my God. But I do look good for 78.
It's not bad.
So so that was very successful. But a lot of things, like I said, you got to try things, and then you got to see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
I've always been one to just go for it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You don't see the 9 things I've failed at 'cause I just don't put those on Facebook. Why would I? But in the
Very
book, when I'm
clever.
80, I will. But I just, so everyone's like, man, everything he touches. But no, there's 9 things out of that
Yeah,
one
of course.
that hit
You have to
fell flat.
keep pushing. Yeah, yeah.
Well, that thing is, and I think then, particularly when you're going to do videos on YouTube, you've got to have this schedule.
Yep.
So the pressure's on to produce content, isn't it?
Well, it's just like doing this show. I mean, if you don't do it right, then don't do it at all. You know,
Yeah.
and you really have to.
Oh, we shouldn't
put
be
the
doing
time
it
in.
at all then.
Well, we'll talk about that later. There.
Yeah.
Didn't want to bring that up right now.
You can consult with us.
But no, it's true though. You have to really and you have to build the viewers one at a time, 10 at a time, 100 at a time, and not get discouraged.
Yeah.
You know, and you just got to be honest and straight up and get on with it.
Well, when you started the YouTube, you had your show, you were doing all kinds of touring shows, and you were putting out content as well. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot, you
Yeah.
know. But at that time, too, the time couldn't have been better because at that time, I actually was going through a divorce, and you know, anybody who's gone through anything traumatic, you want a distraction.
Yeah.
And the timing couldn't have been better because I just wanted to be busy. I wanted to wake up at 9 in the morning and go to bed at 10 at night and just not stop working. And so the timing couldn't have been better. So for me, I was like, let's just do stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't care if it was viral or not. So it kept me busy. Then I did my shows. So it was a good time for that. And it actually worked out to my benefit. You know what I mean? So.
And you also do guest spots on Pawn Stars, as we said.
Yeah,
but-
we're
but
actually
many-
shooting one today in a couple
are
hours. I'm
you?
going to shoot down because they're doing the 17th season, which is unbelievable.
It is.
You know, and it's still a hit, and it's in 150 countries. So we're going to shoot, and we're still now with the social distancing. We got clear protectors, and we got to go in and do a COVID test before we hit the set, and no extra guests, and it's
about that?
very strict. Yeah, we're up the nose. I've had up the nose. Yeah,
We do have a
Yeah.
clip, but hold on a second,
Yeah.
Travis. Don't go launching that thing because I mean, I just want to. Can we play a clip of that, or is that going to be bad?
We can play the Pawn
You can
Stars,
play
can't we?
anything, sure
Yeah.
we can.
Can you?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, let's take a little look at one of the episodes. It's a bit of a cut together. It's not totally linear because otherwise it'd go on too long. But
Sure.
Here's Murray in Pawn Stars.
What do we have here?
We have Dwayne Brothers circus banners.
This is really cool because in the mid-1900s, this country was fascinated with the circus. And we still had circuses up till a couple of years ago until kids got their phones. So how much you want for these things?
I would like to get $8,000 for the pair.
$8,000 for the pair. I'm assuming these things just got a little beat up and they got retired. They're in pretty rough shape. So I don't know Tom the magician, but I know Murray the magician. He's a good friend of mine. He buys and sells these things. He knows all about them. Let me get him down here and have him take a look at them. Okay?
Great.
So give me a few minutes.
Okay.
Hello. How you doing? I'm Murray. What's up, Rick?
Hey, what's up, man?
Who's this Tom the magician?
Your competition.
I'm a little jealous. I gotta be honest with you. I love circus posters because the cool thing about circus posters is they would take these banners and put them on the outside of circus tents, and it would be just anything to get you to look at their show boards. Because, like, look, they had the electric chair. Nobody was being electrocuted, but it's kind of a cool hook, right? You'd go, wait a minute, someone's being electrocuted. Let's go check that out, you know? The cool thing with the Dwayne Circus is that they were based out of North Hollywood. Well, because they're in Hollywood, all the movies would actually use their paraphernalia, their tents, their props, their acts, and the circus was famous in the 50s, 60s, into the early 70s, and then it kind of vanished away.
So is this magician a famous magician?
No. Tom the Magician is not a famous magician. You know, not even an original name, you know, Tom, you know. But when you had a poster that's a bit more generic, anyone could be Tom. You know what I mean? And if somebody says, oh, I'm looking for Tom the Magician, you know, hey, Rick, you're Tom tonight. Okay, I'll be around. I'll be Tom. You know, but these are all kind of generic posters of acts you would see there.
So what do you think these things are worth?
Well, realistically, because the person on them isn't famous on either banner, and the circus wasn't that famous outside of California, the West Coast, my appraisal for these is would be $500 each, so no more than $1,000 for both of them.
Okay.
So there you go.
Thanks, man.
All right, if you run away to the circus, let me know, all right?
All right.
Okay, perfect.
There you go. How many years have you been on Pawn Stars?
10 years now. Can you
Is it
believe that?
10?
It's amazing.
Well, 9 realistically. After I did America's Got Talent,
When you made a train disappear.
Yeah, and then
How you do?
Then thanks to Adam Steck from Spine, all that very dear friend of mine who was doing the Pawn Star tour, said you guys need a host, and I just came off AGT,
Yeah.
and so we met up, and they said you're such an opposite of us, but it might work. So we did the first one at Suncoast here in Vegas, and it was a hit. And then I was on the road with them for 2 years. And then one day we're sitting around like this, me and Rick having a drink after one of the won the shows. He says, "Why don't you come on the show? Like, how do we get you on the show?" And so I said, "Well, I know a lot about magic and stuff, and I like history, and maybe I can bring something from Houdini." And then that was it. So
Fantastic.
I've done 12 seasons now.
Now,
That's
another
amazing.
thing that he did. Have you seen the show Glow?
No.
Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Yeah.
It was a real show.
Oh, is that? I never even knew what that.
Yeah,
It
it's a
was
real thing.
It
Though.
was a real show.
No, it was back in the 80s or something.
And it was it Pierce Adora's husband at the time?
Rickless owned the Riviera.
Yeah. And
also the owner of Crazy Girls, Norbert Alman, he was part of it as well because Crazy Girls was there as well because of Rickless, who is Danny, my fiancée, who's the host of the show as well. So it's all tied in.
I mean, I've spoken to a few people who were around at that
Yes.
time when it happened, and it's amazing. And it's the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. They all had these characters, didn't they? It was fantastic. And then this amazing series ended up on Netflix, and guess who was in it?
Because you are a gorgeous lady of wrestling.
That's what I've always labeled myself. I go, quite gorgeous, quite ladylike. You know what I'm saying?
It's a great strap.
That show really captured the essence because you know what? The actual original wrestling matches are on TV now. They're on an internet channel.
Yes.
And it's just brilliant. The music.
Yeah, and they copied everything. Like, if you like the 80s, which 80s, I always love the 80s because the fashion, whether you like it or not, it was such a statement. The music was such a statement. You could actually understand the words, and it always has a lyric. Whether you
What
like,
do you know about fashion and statement?
Not much. But I've read about a lot of it. And it's one of those things where this show really mimicked it really well.
It did.
But
So
yeah,
good.
it got canceled just because of the COVID thing. They were getting to shoot their last season. And it won, it was nominated for tons of Emmys and stuff.
So
and I don't know
good.
why they ended it because it was going to run its course anyways because it only lasted a couple of years
That's
in Vegas
right.
to begin with. And one of the women, and I can't remember exactly which one, I'm sure somebody can Google it, who still lives in Vegas now. She is actually one of the top lawyers in Las Vegas now.
Oh,
Who
how
used
funny.
to be, I think it's the girl who acted the Russian or one of them, and I could be wrong.
Oh.
Somebody I'm
Yes.
sure online would know this better than I do. And she's actually in town, and she's a very, very well-known lawyer, and she's very successful.
There's a fantastic documentary about the show.
That's how the show started. So the people who produced the documentary had the documentary. It did so well. They thought, wait a minute, why don't we create something for Netflix? And it was a Netflix original. That's how it started, from the documentary to the actual show.
And it's one of those shows, like you said, the underscoring with the music, underscoring it is just brilliant because it just takes you back to that time.
Totally.
But it's one of those shows, you know, when Netflix asks you, you're still watching, and you are still watching because you've been there for hours on it. It's such a good show.
And then Mark Maron, who's one of the stars, he's the boss of all the girls, or at least kind of runs them, and he's a comedian. He's got a huge podcast.
Yes.
Number one in the world, next to Joe Rogan, right? And he was on the show, and that was a big step for him, as an actor.
His character is so good.
And he's not much different than that. It's pretty
he's
much
pretty much
bang
him.
on. Yeah, it's pretty much.
Now,
yeah.
tell everyone about your part in the show.
Oh, I played. I was in season 3, I guess, episode 3 or 4, and it was more the comedy edge of it because there's not much comedy in that show. And I was playing a butler to a high-end suite in Las Vegas, and they were all here getting ready, and they lost their referee, and they were talking about using somebody as a new referee for the matches. And it was all lead characters in a big suite in Vegas. It was supposed to be like a Caesar's Palace or Riviera. And I walked in as the butler for morning coffee, given their grapefruits and juices and all that, as you'd normally do in a high-end suite. And then all of a sudden, I heard them talking, and then, of course, the lights went on and off. My jacket flew off, and then I started pitching myself to them as a magician to be the referee for their new show. And I wanted, it was just that...
It's very kind of Vegas, actually.
Very Vegas,
isn't
very
it?
Hollywood, where I'm not going to miss an opportunity. And so I just go pitching, and I do 3 or 4 magic tricks as they're having breakfast. And the tricks, I was more nervous than that because anytime I do something on TV, I'm always doing magic because obviously that's my background. But people don't realize when you come in, you always got to be like Inspector Gadget. You got cards here, bird here, elephant up your butt. And you can't just sit there and talk about a movie you did a year ago like Tom Cruise or a comedian. You got to pull all the crap out and be prepared and also be funny and listen to what the person's asking you as an interview. And it's never as easy. And so doing that, I had to memorize the lines, which I don't memorize lines. I rewrite them in my head quickly because it's an improv thing. So anyone who writes stuff, it's really bad for me because it's not. And then do the damn trick as I'm remembering the line with these actors who are pretty big stars. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to pass out. And ironically, I memorized the lines. I realized when you do 40 takes, because I'm just doing everything once. As a live performer, you got one shot.
Yeah.
But on TV, I forget. They do, but you cannot not forget what you said because you just repeat it so many times.
Yes.
So after the 2 or 3 takes, I thought, oh my God, I got the lines. I can't forget them now. And the tricks I've been doing all my life. So all of a sudden it became very easy. But that first time, I'm used to doing stuff on the first take.
Right.
Because I'm a live performer.
Yeah.
And I've acted enough, but still I haven't acted enough to feel that comfortable.
Yeah.
And so it was a very comfortable feeling. By the 20th time, I thought, all right, let's get on with this.
Exactly.
Let's get the shot.
So
Put everything back in my pockets
Exactly.
every time.
True, yeah, sure.
So speaking of having elephants up your butt,
Yes.
and
Yes.
never being able to go on a show without actually having said elephant
Yeah,
inserted.
exactly.
I know.
Do you have anything inserted today?
Insert it into my... I don't. Actually, I don't. But
you
it's,
do have. We
Yes.
got you a very special tea mug.
I know. It's
We
very
did,
nice.
we
Yeah, it's
did.
very good.
Show
Yeah.
it to the camera. There you
So,
go.
that one,
Look
there
at
you
that.
go.
See?
Your mum is watching, by the way.
Good.
Actually-
I called her and said, I'm up early, so
Hi,
watch. And
Mummy
she's always up early.
Chuck.
Yeah.
She's just amazed that you're up early, huh?
She is, because she's
Now,
always up at 6 or
There's
7.
a question here.
So-
Chris wants to know, can you teach him how to play the accordion?
Sure, of course. I played the accordion for years, and I also Ukrainian danced. And then I wanted a girlfriend, so I quit both. You think I'm kidding, but that's
I
exactly
think
what
you
it is.
need to do it all dressed like that. All of it.
You know what? If I was smart back in the day and I had my marketing sensibility that I have now,
Yeah.
back then, I'm telling you right now, I would never put the accordion down. I would have been like Judy Tenuta. If you know her as a comedian in the 80s, she's super famous. And she's gorgeous, looking very pin-up type comedian that always had an accordion on it. That was her hook.
Really?
Yeah, she's got a Walk a Star on the Vegas Boulevard. And she's very famous and very funny woman. And dear friend of mine now, but I remember her in the 80s on every TV show with this little accordion. She never played the thing, just and then she'd say a line and then she always talk about and that was just she never played a damn song or thing, but she just have it and then do the next line. And it was such a great. But I never saw that. When I was young, I thought, oh my God, an accordion. What are we going to do with that?
Accordion, the dancing, the outfit, the hair. I think that's your next. How you're going to evolve onto the next thing.
Well, it's interesting. In Canada, a guy named Ashley McIsaac in Canada, anyone from Canada would know this. He became very famous in the late 80s and 90s with bagpipes or a fiddle or a fiddle, I believe. One or the
Fiddle,
other.
bagpipes,
I think it was
same
fiddle. Yeah, well, close, right? You're pushing and then you're pulling, right?
Yeah,
Push, pull.
basically
You can do both, right?
You could play both at the
and
same
then
time.
at the end, you knit a scarf, which is amazing. Which is amazing because I've never tried that. But see, now that's how it would become very famous. I think he played the violin actually, and either or, he became very famous because he was dropped into modern music. So all of a sudden, you're at a nightclub and you hear him because he took this older instrument that wasn't cool and made it cool, and he wore a kilt and the whole bit, and he became very famous.
I'm loving that.
Yeah, now if I would have had that sense back then, I probably would never have dropped the accordion or Ukrainian
Right.
dancing. I could be the next Yakov Smirnoff, another famous comedian if everyone knows from the 80s. I don't know, my 80s. I look like I'm 80s, so that's why I'm talking about it.
Yakov Smirnoff.
Yeah, very famous comedian. He was on WKRP, the famous TV show here, and he always came on with his Russian accent. And he moved to Branson, Missouri, and started selling out his theater like 5,000 to 2,000 people a day in Branson. He's still there. Very funny guy. Yeah.
Now you like the whole. Not only just magic history, but entertainment history, particularly Las Vegas history as well. And you've kind of collected some really kind of cool pieces, and whether it be from magic, and you've got some really interesting props, or even from some icons here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, anything old, I like. I mean, that's why we're friends.
That's why we're friends. Clearly,
that's why we're not friends.
Exactly. But I love anything old. I love the history. I love I love that paying it forward and why. Do I dress like this? Why do I do the jokes like I do? Why do I want to walk on stage?
You mean the really old jokes?
I mean? No, the old hack jokes, the ones I steal from everybody. Why not? If they're dead, I can use it.
And if they're not, they soon will be.
Exactly. Or hate me, so that's okay. Yeah. So, but it's one of those things where I think, people always think, I originally did this. This is mine. No, you didn't. You didn't invent it. It's been around for a while. If you look back far enough, it probably was done before.
Right.
So it's lovely to reinvent things or change things a bit. So I always love that. Or why are theaters designed like this, or why is there booths in theaters, chandeliers? Why do they have certain lighting in theaters? And you kind of learn why certain things are done. So I collect a lot of that stuff in my house.
Yeah, because you've got some Debbie Reynolds stuff.
I do. Some
You
Jerry
have
Lewis stuff.
her booth, don't you?
Yeah, I do. One of her booths actually is from the Dunes Hotel, which is now where the Bellagio is.
Yeah.
It used to be a very famous lounge that all the acts used to sing at upstairs at the Dunes. And so, so I have a couple of those booths and the chandelier.
Now, I remember when the Riviera closed here, they did kind of this. You already know.
I have a story.
I've got a story about him.
Go on. That was a good day.
That was a good day because what they did basically, just so you guys know, is they sort of had like an open house sort of auction thing. They got a company to come in and they got lots, whether they be beds or door handles or whatever it might be.
I was certainly not buying a bed mattress, but people were. That creeped me out.
It was
completely.
a little weird. But yeah, you could basically go in and get this little piece of the Riviera before they pulled it down. But there were certain areas that you were allowed to go in, and obviously places that you just were not allowed to go in, including some of the rooms and the suites and that kind of stuff. And we were in there being very polite and normal and everything. And then I see this one over here walking along with a light fitting.
Yeah, chandelier I had.
You had a chandelier. I'm like, I didn't see one of those. And then you didn't get it from the place you're supposed to be, did you?
No, I said I went up and I unscrewed it myself.
He showed up with a screwdriver.
Where
I had a
were you
screwdriver.
exactly?
Anytime you go to an auction at a hotel, you bring a flathead screwdriver, a needle nose pliers, and an X-Acto knife, and you can take anything out of that hotel.
It's a bylaw. It's official,
And he did.
right?
It's probably not legal, but it's so the chandeliers
was the chandelier?
Chandelier was just outside the Frank Sinatra suite, the original suite that they built for him after he'd done all of his runs at the Sands and the Dunes, and then he was older when he came there. And Piazzadora actually was opening for him as well, and so they built a suite, and it was at the end, and the suite was facing south west, so you can kind of see Circus, you can see south down the strip. And there was two chandeliers, one outside and then one inside the double doors. And they had them all down. They were I don't know, a couple $100 a piece. They had tags on them. But the idea was anything plugged in or electrical, you got to call the electrician, set up a time. They'll take it down. And they come back 2 days later and pick it up. And I'm like, well, no, that's not going to work for me because that chandelier, first of all, I want it if I'm going to pay you money. And I want to make sure that's the one I get.
Yes.
Because there was like 6 more down the hallway. And all those crystals were actually still on that chandelier and everything. There's a reason I wanted that. And it was the one outside the Frank Sinatra suite before you entered. And I'm handy. I can take fixtures down or put things up. And I know if there's power on, not to touch the power wire. So I grabbed a bar stool from one of the open rooms. I stood up on a bar stool. Everyone's walking by saying hi, and aren't you the magician? I'm like, yeah, shut up.
Shut up.
So, and I did the thing and screwed the damn thing.
I'm doing a bit of thieving.
And then I'm in line standing with this damn chandelier because, once the chandelier's hung or taken down, it's just all a bunch of crystal on a platter. It looks, like a broken glass. So I'm standing there, and sure enough, a review journal comes by. So he takes a shot. Next day in the review journal, I'm standing with a huge chandelier in this line. Everyone else has a piece of paper because they're supposed to give it, and they're supposed to take down stuff for them, and then they walk out. I'm thinking, no, if I'm paying for it, I'm walking out the damn door now with it. So I got crap when I got, you're not supposed to do that. I'm like, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, I got it now. Well,
you're
not supposed to do it. We shouldn't really give this. They said, well, the hotel's being imploded. I'm buying it. I got the goddamn thing now.
Yes.
So let's pay for it. Like, okay, slap me on the wrist, but I have it now. So what do you hang it back up? And then call you? And so they got all upset about it. I said, I'm paying you a commission. Like, you're making money off me. Yeah. Like, you don't own the damn hotel. Let me give you the money and let me get the hell out of here. So I did. So now it's hanging in my
and there's a little extra part with that because I helped Murray go to his truck with
That's right. You were all there. You and Andy Walmsley and the gang.
And he pulls open the thing. And I was telling someone else this story, and I said, like a magician, he was pulling stuff out. And I'm like, no, he is a magician.
Yeah,
I
took a few
so
extra
much
things.
Stuff. And I don't think, because we went for lunch after, didn't we?
That's right. We went over to the
You paid for the chandelier, but everything else was a bit of misdirection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just pulling it out and
a few other things here and there. Yeah, I had a couple of door plaques that I popped off with a screwdriver. You know what I mean? What's the reviewer going to sue me now? But a couple of door plaques I popped, because no one wants door plaques, but they were off the actual suites, the penthouse suites. I popped off the PH thing off the elevator, which is penthouse, because no one wants that. But they pop right off if you hit it hard. And so it was great.
I've done this before.
But the penthouse floor was locked off. And I said, well, no, that's closed off. I'm like, no, it's not closed off. So I went up the fire exit, and I walked in. Of course it's open.
And he had like a 3-piece suite in there. He just pulled out of his jacket.
Exactly. A bidet, which is kind of weird, but you know what I mean?
Do you remember we all went into the theatre? Andy was on the stripper pole. We were all on the stripper pole. Andy was playing
at the Crazy Girls Lounge.
And then Andy played 8 notes of Elton John, and I don't think he knows beyond that.
There's a picture.
There's a picture of us.
Of us all,
and then we were in the dressing room, and it had empty bottles. Oh, no, full bottles of I think it was vodka and a Bible next to the vodka.
that was up in the main theater, the Versailles
that's right.
Theater. Yeah.
I know,
How
and when we all
interesting.
went and had that lunch, I said, I don't think there's anyone at this table that hasn't taken something they shouldn't have from the Riviera.
We all have stuff we shouldn't have from the
Everybody's
hotel, but then
pulling
again, they're
stuff
going to implode it. So
Exactly.
what
So
And then
the
we watched the
lesson here-
implosion, didn't
the hell?
we? We had
did
the
from
implosion
Andy's
party.
house. Yeah, we loved that.
And
yeah.
the lesson here is don't invite Murray to your house.
No,
And if
exactly.
you do, check his pockets before he
Put
leaves.
him in a straitjacket.
Yeah, exactly.
That
He'll
might
still
work.
get out of it.
I'll still get out of it, but it's kind of fun, party favor. You know,
There you go.
I might like it.
So what are you doing in fantasy? Your
Good question.
Your normal magic?
It's a rough job. I mean, 8 of the most beautiful women in Las Vegas.
And one of them
topless.
is your fiance,
Yes,
Danny.
9. Yeah, Danny. She is in the show actually with me because
8 of the
Yes.
most beautiful people in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And your fiance, Danny. Oh,
Yes.
9.
9, exactly. Because she
Well done.
actually is working.
Well done.
You're welcome. Because she's working with me, but she isn't in the actual fantasy cast because she's still the host of Crazy Girls, all right?
Oh, okay.
So and it hasn't come back yet, but she is coming in to work with me in the show because I'm doing 2 or 3 bigger illusions because the theater's a 1,500-seat theater.
Yeah.
We're only allowed 250 capacity because of social distancing, and which is great because we've been selling out every night because it's only it's 250.
Now, say
that's
you
great.
go as a couple.
Huh?
You can be sat together as a couple, though, correct?
Yes. we can be
Okay.
saying- Oh, yeah.
And then
there's
they
two-
just
seats of 2.
separate you from everybody
It's only
else.
2, so
Oh,
no matter
okay.
what, it's 2s and 2s and 2s. So if it's a party of 4, well, 2 and then 2. That's the way
Sometimes
it
you
is.
see men by themselves in that show.
Yeah,
Just sat
exactly.
by themselves.
Yeah.
It was once. I was only there because
I
I was doing
saw you.
research.
I saw you
Exactly.
doing that.
But the theater was closed, and that was weird.
Yeah, that's...
It was
That
just
is
me on
slightly
stage topless, which is
That's
very
even
weird again.
weirder.
But yeah, so Danny's in the show with me, and she's never worked. We've never worked together.
Oh.
We've worked together, yes, on odd videos and that, but never professionally on stage. She's had her show, I've had my show.
Yeah.
And so it's the first time she's doing the show with me and being a magician's assistant, getting in and out of boxes, and she's loving it. I mean, it's cool. We love to work together, you know,
Yeah.
and it's fun and easy. And she knows most of the girls in the cast. 'Cause They've
Yeah.
all done other shows together. They were in Jubilee together.
Yeah.
Some done Crazy Girls together. So it's fun. And Nita Man, who's is a dream to work with.
Oh, yeah, she's
You know,
great.
she's a legend.
I first met her
so.
when I worked on cruise ships.
Oh, sure, of course.
Yeah.
She had so many shows, and she's lovely. So
Yeah.
we've been friends for years. So we just love doing it, and I like that it's not my show that I'm a part of it because I don't get that. As a headliner, you just walk out on stage, you do your own thing, and leave.
Yeah.
With a
Yeah.
cast, it's kind of fun. You have.
It
And I've worked
is.
in casts
Yeah,
here
no,
and there
that's
once
great.
every few years. You know, in Europe and Monaco, I've worked different shows, but that's not my world. So it's really exciting to have
Yeah.
that camaraderie.
Because
you know?
people get
Yeah.
there early, you know,
Yes.
chat and
You hang out and have a
gossip
chat.
and
So
have
we have
a drink
we have a
after.
request here from the person who wins all our prizes, and we'll take the shirt off my back if I give him the chance. Chris Plant. It says, my kids, Isabel and Livia, loved you on Ryan's Mystery Playdate on Nick Jr., I believe that was.
Huh.
Please, can you say hello to your youngest fans, Murray? Also, how can I get Isabel onto kids' TV shows? She's a true
So what are
character.
your names? Isabel and who?
Olivia and Isabel.
Oh, hey, Olivia and Isabel. How are you? What's up? Hey, I'm trying to find the right camera. There's only 17 in here. So it's great. Well, hello. Yes, I had a great time on Ryan's Mystery Playdate. A dear friend of mine who is a showrunner for the show, he said, you got to come on this new show we're doing with Ryan. Of course, we all knew him from YouTube, which, you know, can you believe Ryan, this little kid who's 12 or 13, was making like $28 million a year on YouTube?
Whoa.
I know. It's so
You're
cool.
a slacker.
Yes. So I was excited to be on. So you want to produce a magician? I said, that's great. And I think the best way to get on television, if you're a kid, is just keep trying and sending stuff in. You need a really cool headshot. You got to be honest with yourself. And your kid's got to have a really cool personality, be witty, be interesting. I know everybody's child is the best in the world. We get it. I don't have kids yet, but when I do, it's going to be the same way. But you really got to be honest. Like certain people, certain kids who take ballet, and there's certain kids who are in the ballet class the first 2 weeks, and you go, yeah, you're not going to be a ballerina.
Yes.
But that's okay. Nothing's wrong with it. You don't have to be Baryshnikov.
But you
can
can-
still, you know what I mean? But the idea is I would get your kids into anything improv, acting classes, commercial classes for kids. Get them involved in socializing and being funny. I always think improv's the number one thing to do in life, even as people, just interacting in business or being on shows like this. And the key to improv is listening. That's the key to anything.
Yes.
As you know, being host of a show,
That's
your
right.
best questions come from listening, not talking, you know, because they give you what the next question is.
They do, it's
You know,
true.
and same with improv and acting. If you listen to the person or the people you're acting with, they will give you the next line or the next bit.
So elephants
know,
up your
so-
butt again. Let's just
Yes.
go back to that.
Excellent. You're just jealous that I can get an elephant in my butt. You're just
fascination.
jealous.
That's where the 17th camera is.
That's why my nickname is Dumbo.
Chris, if you
See what I did there? I was listening. I made a joke, came back.
Yes, you did.
So, yes.
Chris, you need to speak to Dan Burke. His kids are in acting classes with, I think, Rebecca Okinski. She was a previous guest of ours.
Yeah, Rebecca Okonski.
Yeah, Okonski. Yeah. So, you get your kids in with
But
her.
also, I mean, these days, if you just go and get these days, that sounds
These
so
days.
old.
These
days,
Back in my day.
with this newfangled technology.
Yeah.
Why did I do an American accent?
I don't
Badly.
know.
Badly.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
YouTube. I mean, if they can actually just get themselves to the channel and just practice being on camera, does that help?
Yeah, YouTube's great. You can, I've seen kids even mock me. I did one or TikTok. I did TikTok yesterday. Everyone had texted me for 2 weeks. This guy named Nanks, Nanks. He's a rapper, and he looks just like me. He could be my son, literally. So everyone's been texting me for the last 2 weeks. Oh my god! And I've had somebody, and I said. And my YouTube guy in LA, Seth Lee, says you really should do a duet with them. And duet is where you have somebody and then you split the screen and then you duet them. So if you're, say, it's Elton John, and you just mimic what they're doing and you lip sync to what they are, but it's their voice, but you get to mimic them.
And it's coming, by the way, because you'll be doing some of that for our new TikTok channel.
See, there you go. So I just did it with this Nankles guy, and he's a rapper, so do, and he does all these. It took me literally half an hour to figure out all the hand signals and symbols to do it, and we just did it and put it up. But it's things like that show people your sense of humor, and you're just willing to go for it. I think getting kids into things like that is introduced, or have play dates, have kids over, to the house, as long as they're healthy and COVID free and all that stuff, and you can have fun in a living room and say, okay, kids, we're going to act for 5 minutes. You're on a beach. Okay. And then and each kid puts in something. Where are we? Oh, we're in Paris, France. All right, what are we doing? Are we eating dinner? We're playing with Play-Doh. Great. And then what else are we doing after we play? We're riding bikes, and then we're gonna fly in a plane back to Vegas. Okay, that's the scene. You guys got 5 minutes and go. And you have the kids start using those 4 items. Even
you're going to be a great dad when you eventually get it.
Well, I don't know.
Good.
I could be a dad now. I just don't know it. Every Father's Day, you're like,
okay.
Lucky
well, I think on that note,
well, I think we need some trickery.
Yeah, well, I already teased that, and he said he didn't have anything.
Trick, sure.
Well, go on.
If I pulled loose an elephant right now, you'd crap yourself. Wouldn't you? You'd be like, wow.
Here comes the elephant.
No, but you would.
Yeah. Well,
here comes the elephant.
So, can this camera? Do we have a camera that works right here?
If you want to tee that up,
we're going to use this one up here.
I can follow.
This one above your head here.
Yeah, I see it. I was going to.
Yeah, he's just.
I figure out which way the mic's going to go.
Look, there it is. Misdirection.
All right, is this it? Right here. Can you?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Okay.
Good. Okay. I'll just look
More
at
or
the camera
less.
so I know.
Or you can scoot.
All right. So here's the reason I brought these 6 of clubs with me is because if I asked you what your favorite card was or is, it's usually an ace, a king, jack. No one ever says it's a 6 of clubs. Nobody. So I felt bad for them. I like helping a lot of charities out. So I decided the 6 of clubs would be my favorite card.
Right.
Because no one ever says it. So I actually collected 8 6 of clubs. So I'm going to put one down, one up. You'll see. And there's one contagious card in the whole pack. So like I said, one's going to go down.
So we've got a Corona card in there.
Exactly. And one down. I was going to make the joke, but I've done that joke so many times that I'll let you have it. So one down, right, and then one up, and of course one down, and then one up, and then one down like that. So there's the 8 cards, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Everyone can see them fine. No.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me do this.
It's about.
Here we go. Excellent.
Oh, yeah, we're going to move this camera a little bit.
Excellent. I just want to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here.
There we go.
Excellent. Thank you.
Fabulous.
So there we go. So we got 8 6 of clubs, and if you do this is the contagious card here, of course. If you go like this, watch. If you go like that, you go like this. So you go like that, go like this.
Oh, very nice.
Like that. You take these here, like that. See. It really looks like it's magic, doesn't it?
It's a metaphor for life.
It's like that. You come over here, do that, like that. And then what you do is you put all these on top of each other like this, all right? And then what you do is you count them, because nobody ever believes me. You have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go.
Nice.
And that's what kept me out of the army.
That's really good.
So between that and the whole scene with the half-eaten pie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Your
I
phone
mean, it's
Exactly.
just perfect. And a cup of tea.
You like that? I got everything. I got the Tropicana mug, the tea.
So good. Now you do have to. What is it they say? You can do a trick, but can you perform a trick?
Yeah, I think it's like anything. Like acting. I got a casting thing recently, and acting always scares the hell out of me. You can read a line. I can give you a line, right? But can you sell a line? If I gave the line to Jim Carrey, or if I gave the line to Steve Martin, they would sell a line. That's why they are who they are.
Yeah.
You know, or Tom Hanks, and they would look at it and make a direction and go, I'm going to be Russian, I'm going to be French, and they're going to just sell it. Whereas a lot of other people would just read it and go, da 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 da, and that's why they're not actors. They don't get the role. So you know, you got to kind of make a commitment, like my look.
Yeah, that was definitely a commitment.
I've always loved that. I love that lovely blue, like tartany suit that you have. It's fantastic.
Oh yes, I wore that to one the roast. Yeah, I only wear that one once in a blue moon because it's a suit that if you wear it out once, everyone knows for a year. You only wear it once, and you got to put it away for a year till people forget again.
It's the best
problem
suit
every day.
Yes,
we kind of coordinated a little bit today,
nice.
didn't we?
Yeah, well,
like Sonny and Cher. Look at you two.
We did.
It's very nice. And I like your little necklace. What is that?
Oh, good Lord.
That's cute. Is it?
It's the day.
It looks like a weed bulb.
It's
no?
corn.
It's corn. I thought it was a little bulb of weed. I'm like, oh, look at me trendy. Maybe being trendy in Vegas. We're all legal now. We could just, I don't know. I don't smoke weed, so I wouldn't know. Corn, close.
Before we disappear,
You want some sweeties?
would you like, see, look, this isn't product placement at all.
No, not at all.
No, you wrapped it so nice.
Yeah. Offer it from our Brit Kit.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that? We've got stuff in here. We've got sweets.
that?
So yes, we are affiliated with the British Corner Shop. So make sure that you
There might be
you
some
go
old
there,
ones
use the,
here from when you were a kid, maybe.
this is
Because I
nice.
know you probably had a lot of the same, I'm sure.
Yeah. Sure, yeah, but we have a lot of stuff. Like Australia.
I'm trying to do our bit here, you know, for the British Corner and the thing.
You see this?
We're just going to scran down on
All right,
sweeties.
fine.
That's
Well,
what
anyway,
we're going to do.
spill the tea, use the code, get lots of cool things that
Jelly
are
tots.
somewhat discounted, maybe.
Good.
But it's back to them because they're the ones going through it.
Oh, the love hearts are good.
Love hearts are great.
Yes. You have to
Yeah.
read the prediction on them.
We do. Hey, Darren, why don't you come back in here? Darren's been
Come and
hanging
have
out
some
with
sweets,
us.
Darren.
He's hiding from his.
Oh, yeah, these are good Bakewell
take a seat
tarts.
there.
That's from my area.
Oh, they're nice. Here he is.
Oh,
yeah, right.
No wagon
Little
wheels.
dib dab.
Yeah.
Drumsticks.
I'm
You guys
happy.
wanna-
I can't tell you last time I had a jelly. Wait a bit. Jelly tots were never that shape.
Yeah, they were.
Weren't they flat?
No.
Like a.
No, they were that.
They're
Weren't they
flat.
like a spaceship?
They were, something like that.
They're
Well,
flats because they didn't mail them properly.
anyway. Moving on. Thank you, British Corner Shop.
Mm.
So
Been a great show today.
it has been a great show. We really thank you for both of you for turning
We
up
learned
and
a
being
lot.
here.
We've been entertained.
We've been informed through
Fed,
Mr.
entertained.
Darren here, and Murray did his best.
I did my best. That's all I can. That's all you could ask for. Best.
And you know that clearly we haven't seen each other in a long time because that's
I
why
know.
we're kind of ripping on each other.
Yeah,
but-
I haven't seen it forever.
Nice
I
to
know.
get
You haven't
catch up.
changed.
It really
It
is.
really is.
It's been a hot minute.
And as always, thank you guys for watching. And if you are new to the show, again, make sure you like, follow, and do whatever you're supposed to do to be able
Tell
to
your
watch again.
friends.
Tell your friends.
Tell
as
your
you do.
friends.
Sam, you got anything else, or are we good?
Well, I've
Oh,
got
good
one
Lord.
last little video.
Oh, she's always got one
I've always
last
got
thing.
something. I'm always over prepared.
We were just getting to a really nice crescendo there. We were building. And then Sam comes along and says, yeah, but I got a thing.
I got a thing.
Oh, fine.
Run that tape.
No, it's cool. I don't really like them.
What do you mean? You don't like Jaffa cakes?
I don't know. They taste funny.
Tastes funny, does it?
Yeah, and they've got this weird jelly thing. Like, what is that?
He's mentioned the jelly, lads. He's mentioned the jelly.
What even is it? Is it a cake or a biscuit?
You boys don't mind if I take first swing, do you?
Please.
Lovely.
Carry on.
Thank you very much.
Never insult a Jaffa cake, ever.
Never insult. That is the lesson for today.
That is a
Yeah.
This is a lesson for today.
Fantastic. Well, with that, you're done now.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Murray.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you,
having me
Darren.
on. Thank you.
Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. And thank you, guys. And
Been
we'll
a
see
great
you
day.
next week on Spill the Tea.
Bye, everyone.